Hi, Byron Velvick, BASS Elite Tour Pro and consecutive Bassmaster Classic qualifier, and I'm here to talk about something very exciting and near and dear to my heart, and that's the Livingston Lure series with EBS, electronic bait fish sound technology. I know that's a mouthful. These are Livingston Lure baits that have EBS multi-touch technology. That allows you to change the way this bait sounds. This bait, you can have 3 different sounds and you can even shut this bait off. This bait can run silent. And all you have to do to activate this bait is you dip it in the water and within 5 seconds, that bait is programmable. How cool is this? You can program this bait. So it dips in the water, it's programmable, and the first fish sound you're gonna hear, the first bait fish sound you're gonna hear is that of the compression gill sound. That's the original sound of EBS technology, the one Randy Howell used to win the Bassmaster Classic. That sound is coming through the bait, original sound, compression of gills is what we call it. It literally is what a baitfish sounds like when it's scared and it's running for its life. Now the next sound is the crawfish sound. This is a sound if I'm fishing bait fish and I'm fishing riprap, rocks, and I feel that the fish are foraging more on crawfish than a shad, so I can change this thing to be a crawdad sounding crankbait. The next sound is the distressed shad sound, an all new sound that Livingston just introduced to these multi-touch baits. And of course, the last sound really isn't a sound at all. It's actually being able to shut the bait off, to make the bait totally quiet. Say for instance, you've been wearing these fish out, they've been hitting it, and they get a little bit shy. Now you just want to shut it off. Once again, you dip the bait in the water every time. You got 5 seconds. You hold it till you hear the sounds you want, and then you shut the bait off or turn the bait on. And once that lure is in the no sound position, a lot of people think their bait isn't working anymore. That Livingston lure is still working, but all you have to do is put it back in the water, and in the first 5 seconds, touch those diodes again, and that thing starts going back to its other sounds. You can turn that bait fish sound right back on that Livingston lure multi-touch technology. That's what's so cool about this thing. This is a bait that allows you to change sounds and allows you to shut it off. And one of the cool things about this is it has a battery in it, and that is 200 hours of water time. 200 hours of it being in the water, and once it's out of the water and it sits dormant, it shuts off. So in those 200 hours, I've had baits that have not stopped working yet, and I've been fishing them religiously for the whole tour season, this last elite season. This is ultimately a lure that I swear you're going to wear the paint off it before the battery gives out. These things last forever. 200 hours of fishing, that's a lot of time for a bait to be in the water. Hey Livingston Lures, let's talk about the sound these new multi-touch baits make. Right off the bat, when you first dip it in the water, the first sound you're going to hear is the original EBS sound. There it is, the sound that Randy Howell used to win the Bassmaster Classic. But if you want to move on to the second sound, as you continue to hold it, here comes the crawfish. Now that sound is the sound a crawfish makes when it's in distress, and if I'm fishing riprap and rocks and throwing some red crankbaits, I'm going to use that. And here's another sound brand new to this multi-touch bait. That is a distressed baitfish sound, a distressed shad sound, completely new to this bait that the old baits just don't make. And here is a sound that everybody recognizes but isn't really a sound at all. Silence. The bait doesn't make any sound, and you can shut this bait off. Now, if you're fishing an area with a lot of other boats, there's a lot of sounds going on, the fish get a little bit shy, the Livingston lure baits just aren't getting it, you say, I'm going to shut it off, and I'm going to make it like all other baits out there.